Hey guys, I'm back with another video. So today we're gonna be watching some story time things. So yeah, let's get right into this video.
Hi, I'm Stacy, and I'm banned from ever leaving my bedroom. Because if I do, I'll die. Sometimes it gets so boring that
The
I
hell?
don't even care. But my parents would lock my door to stop me. All of this because I was unlucky enough to have severe allergies to everything. I'm allergic to different kinds of foods, unfiltered air, flour dust, you name it. I started getting ill when I was a
The
kid.
hell?
Now I'm 16, and it's like I've been a prisoner for the last 10 years of my life.
The hell?
I don't even know how the outside world is like. So, to pass the time, I read a lot and watched YouTube videos.
Like me?
And sometimes I snuck out of my room after I found a way to unlock my door. Until one day, my parents installed a nanny cam in the hallway, and I got caught and punished. However, a few weeks ago, something juicy happened in my boring life. A new hipster family moved into the house next door, and they had a cute daughter that seemed about my age. She looked so cool with all her piercings and tattoos. I wanted to know everything about that girl. I spent the first week peeking at her house. I used my camera to zoom inside and see what was happening in the girl's bedroom. I watched her read, sleep,
The hell?
eat 24 hours a day, like a little.
So wait. This girl is technically stalking this other girl, but she doesn't even know the name of her or name of her family or anything about her, just knows where she lives. Well, that's weird. Let's go right into the video.
Creep. I tried to stop, but couldn't. She was the only girl my age I knew. Until one time, late at night, I was watching her and my camera dancing in her room. She looked so cool, so I decided to film her. But then, she caught me doing it. She opened her window and shouted out, "You know it's rude to do that, right? Why are you filming?" I was scared she'd report me to the police, so I said with all honesty, "I just think you look cool," I shouted. The girl smiled and said, "I'm Emily. What's your name?" We started talking. She asked me why she hadn't seen me at school, and I told her the truth. I expected her to not want to talk.
So, she was stalking somebody. Now she's friends with that somebody. Kids is just a way to get
To
right
me.
back.
I was not only an ill freak, but a weirdo who had spied on her as well. But it didn't put Emily off, and soon enough, she became my friend, my only real-life friend. Pretty much every day, she would talk to me for hours out of the window. Until one day, it was my birthday, and I was excited to see her after she finished the school. But she didn't show up. I waited for hours near my window for her until I fell asleep. When I woke up, someone was beating hard on my door. I thought it was my mom, but when I opened, I was shocked to discover it's Emily. She had snuck into my house to see me. I gave her a hug. I couldn't believe it. She brought me a gift, too. We sat and talked for over an hour. But then my mom stormed into my room. She was freaking out. She started shouting, and then she kicked Emily out. I was so embarrassed, and Emily looked scared. She ran out of the house crying. Mom told me Emily was never allowed back, as seeing her could kill me. I turned to Mom and shouted at her, "I hate you." She left my room and locked my door. I tried to Skype Emily to apologize, but the Wi-Fi wasn't working. I called downstairs to Dad, who said it was broken and they were waiting for someone to come out and fix it. But then I thought, what if he was lying?
What a coincidence that it was working before Emily came to her house, and it stops working as soon as she gets kicked out. Makes sense. See if this is fake or not.
I messaged Emily and we carried on talking. She said we could still be friends, we just would find other ways to speak. So we carried on messaging each other, and every night we would talk to each other through our windows. Then one day, Dad came into my room with a toolkit and started hammering my window shut. He told me that I couldn't let the air in as it wasn't filtered and it could hurt me. I was so angry at him. He was stopping me talking to my only friend. So
I don't get this. Maybe I just don't know it, but she's done it loads of times for around about a month now, it seems like. And she hasn't died or got hurt. So I think, from my idea, they're definitely lying.
Emily and me spoke every night on the phone instead. Then one night I was eating my dinner my mum had made, and I noticed it tasted weird. It was pasta and plain tomato sauce, which was one of the few safe meals I could eat, but there were peas in it. I was allergic to peas. I dropped the phone and ran to get my EpiPen, thinking I was about to have a reaction, but I didn't. I picked up the phone and told Emily what had happened. She said to me, "Stacy, do you think your mom gave you peas on purpose to make you ill?" I had never thought about it before, but Emily made me think. What if they wanted me to be ill, so I had to live with them forever? I stayed up all night messaging Emily. Then I was so tired I fell asleep just as it started to get light. When I woke up, it was the afternoon. I looked around to grab my phone, but it wasn't on the bedside table where I had left it. I spent ages looking around my room, but it had gone. Later, when my mom brought some clean clothes in for me, I asked her where it was. She told me she had taken it away as she was worried I was spending so much time on it. Couldn't believe she had taken my phone. I had no internet either, and Mom had tried to feed me food I was allergic to. I asked Mom when I could have my phone back, and she told me that she hadn't decided yet. Emily was right. They just wanted to keep me locked away. I hated Mom so much. And the worst thing was that I thought that Emily would just think that I had stopped messaging her. I had to let her know what had happened. So that night, I waited until all the lights in the house had gone out, and I left my room and snuck downstairs. My legs were shaking. It felt so weird to be out of my room. I then opened the front door. Taking the first step outside made me feel so nervous. It had been so many years since I had been outside. I crept across the lawn and got to below Emily's window. I threw stones at it until she woke up. When she saw it was me, she ran outside to see me. She gave me a big hug. It was so good to see her. I told her everything that had happened and how I couldn't live like this anymore. But Emily had an amazing idea. She said we should run away together and find our own place to live. And I said yes. The next night I waited until Mom had gone to work, and I went into her room and found some money hidden away, and I stole it. Then I packed a bag, took a stash of cash from my dad's drawer, and met Emily. We caught a bus to the next town, and it felt great. It was like my allergies had got better over the years. I was normal after all. When we got to the next town, it was getting dark, so we decided to go and get something to eat before finding somewhere to spend the night. But neither of us had been to this town before, and before we knew it, we were lost. Then it got worse. I could feel my skin start to itch, and I knew what was happening. I had a reaction to something and was about to go into shock. Before I could even speak, my throat started to close up and I was struggling to breathe. It took a second for Emily to work out that something was wrong. I grabbed Emily's arm and gestured to my bag to tell her to get out my EpiPen. She worked out what I wanted and emptied my bag, but in my rush to leave, I had left it at home. I started to panic. I was going to die. Emily's phone was out of battery and there was no one around. She told me she was going to go and get help, so she ran away and left me. Emily had to act quickly, or I would die. I started to get lightheaded, and I saw a man coming towards me with a mean face and a scar above his eye. He came running up to me and grabbed a hold of me. I tried to scream and to push him away, but I was too weak. He was shouting at me, but I couldn't work out what he was trying to say. Then he pulled something out of his pocket. It looked like a knife. He was going to kill me. He stabbed my leg with it, and I felt a pain shooting, trying to say.
Sorry,
Then
guys.
I realized what it was. It wasn't a knife. It was an EpiPen. It was trying to save me. But it was too late, and I passed out. When I opened my eyes, it was very bright and white. Was I in heaven? Then my eyes adjusted, and I realized I wasn't in heaven. I was in a hospital. My parents were sitting by my bed. They explained to me that I had been in a coma for 2 weeks and almost died. They were so upset and said they wished they had never taken away my phone and internet. They did it to try and protect me. not to make me unhappy or make me run away. I asked Mom why she had tried to feed me food I was allergic to, but she explained to me that she hadn't. The company must have changed the ingredients in the jar of sauce and she hadn't noticed. Then I remembered what had happened and I asked how Emily was, but they told me that she was still missing. I was the last person to have seen her. She had run away and never came back.
Wow, we've been best
My
friends
God.
since 6th grade. Can you believe it? Come on.
Okay, yeah, go
Let's
through that.
I was so worried about what had happened to her. Mom said the police were looking for her. I was in the hospital recovering for a few days, and in that time, they found Emily. The night we had run away, she found someone to call an ambulance, but when she had got back to me, I was gone. She had panicked, thinking I had been kidnapped and had run away, and had been living on the streets ever since. She was too scared to go home because her parents were seriously mad. After they had found me, it took them a while before figuring out where Emily was, until they found her in a dumpster looking for food. Now she is back living with her mom, and I am back with my parents. They have realized that I'm not a kid anymore, and they can't wrap me up in cotton wool forever. So now, with the help of my doctor, we are changing my meds,
Jesus
and I'm starting to
Christ.
spend a bit of time out of the house. I may never live a completely normal life, but now
Okay, I'm
I can
just
at
trying to
least
see
go outside sometimes.
how it looks.
Do you suffer from a weird disease? Or have you ever had a scary situation and had to be rescued? Tell me your story below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to hear more true life stories like this.
Okay, guys, that's the end of that video. So, yeah, see you. Wait, no, what the hell am I messed up it. Okay. Oh my God. See you later.